So I just had therapy. Out of respect for some people and their wishes, I'm gonna try to be as vague about certain things as I can be, while still talking about my journey and documenting that. What we spoke about in therapy was largely to do with, when you're in relationships with people, be it your mom or your sister or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, like we all have our own insecurities and our own traumas, and we bring those with us to every relationship we come into, and it's not possible for those traumas to be resolved by the other person. They have to be resolved by us in our own therapy, in our own process. They can't be resolved by the other person. What the other person can do is try and trigger you less, and so you can communicate around different boundaries that help to make you feel less triggered by those traumas, right? So my trauma is like being abandoned, being ignored, being left, being not chosen. I struggle with three-way relationships, all of that stuff. Like, those are my traumas, and like I can benefit from communicating around maybe certain boundaries that can help make me feel less triggered. But the thing you have to remember about that is that, like, your boundaries will not always be respected. It's not possible, The other person will have needs of their own, and sometimes those needs will sort of push them into a place where they can't respect your boundary 100% of the time. And maybe even some boundaries can't be respected, like, some things that we need, feel like we need, but we don't actually need, can always be, like, accommodated, and to learn to go, that's okay, and actually repair. Like, just now, my therapist had to go because she had to see her next client, and I don't know if boundaries is the right word, but I needed her to stay a little bit longer and just help me de-escalate, I just wanted that, a little bit more time in the session to resolve things. And she said, and we communicated, and it wasn't like I needed it really badly, I was okay, like I could manage it. I would have liked if she stayed longer, but I was okay if she didn't. And so in some ways she didn't respect my, I don't know if boundary is the right word, but boundary, right? And part of what's special about our relationship is that there's capacity for repair, and also just acknowledgement that, like, maybe capacity for repair is the wrong word, but like just the ability to go, I know you're not meeting my needs right now, but I can keep in mind that you do care about me and you do have my best interests at heart, and in some ways you do love me. I don't know if love is the right word to use for a therapist, but I do feel like there's a strong sense of, like, my therapist is in my corner and she cares about me and she thinks about me, and I know that she has my best interest at heart, and that even though she's not meeting my need right now, I can still trust in that relationship. And that has taken 7 years, just shy of 7 years, to get to that point with her, that it feels a lot more secure in doing that. And not every relationship is going to have that level of security, but to try and develop it. And when the person does feel dropped, or when I feel dropped, to then go, can you hold me? Something in a relationship recently, I've been feeling not chosen, and with a friend, and so I was able to communicate to that friend and say, hey, I'm not feeling chosen, and he was able to go, I'm sorry that you're not feeling chosen. That really sucks, and I really care about you. I do think about you all the time. I'm just going through a lot right now myself personally, and I don't say that to make an excuse for not choosing you. I'm just saying that so you understand that it's not about you. It's just I'm going through something, but I do care about you. And that just creates the capacity for, like, it's not that I express myself and suddenly that person is going to drop everything and choose me, but it's more that saying, like, I do care about you, and me not meeting this one need doesn't mean that I don't care about you, and I not acknowledge you and I see you, and I recognize that it's hard right now. But I still care about you, and then you create that sense of, like, trust that, like, even when my needs are not being met right now, I know you still love me. And there's, like, it's a two-way street there of, like, me communicating, hey, I'm not feeling like my needs are met, in a way that isn't attacking or demonizing or criticizing, and the other person going, acknowledging that, like, oh, it really must be hard to not have your needs met, but then still reassuring that, like, I do care about you and I do love you, and me doing this it's not me not choosing you, it's just me, I'm sort of meeting my own needs as well, and I still love you, even though I'm not meeting your need or expressing it in this specific way. And then in the future, then that might get internalized to the point that, like, when a need isn't met, you go, okay, this need isn't met, but I know this person still loves me, and that's okay, you know. Anyways, that's where I am with it right now. That's how as far as I've, like, understood it, and I just wanted to go over it again to kind of understand it better, because I was struggling to understand this in this session to the point that I was almost frantic. I'm feeling very anxious. Very anxious. A bit nauseous, actually.